Here's the point I'm trying to get at dealing with Israel. We are tribal creatures. Because if you go back thousands of years ago, your tribe did stand for you, and you had to protect yourselves, or the other tribe would come and take your land, kill your men, and take your women and children as slaves if they wanted them. That's been the universal rule of human society. We just do it on more of a modern format today. And so my issue is, I don't apologize for criticizing Israel. I try to clarify. Because if you just hate Israel, that then feeds into this global balkanization and division and dehumanizes the people in Israel, just like our media seeks to dehumanize the Palestinians. Okay? And so what I'm getting at here is that I don't like any of these governments. They're all corrupt. They're all evil. They're all grabbing for whatever power they can get. You understand that? It's Israel's corrupt. The U.S. government's corrupt. They're all corrupt. They're all lying. They all have powerful financial interests who are completely ruthless and competing with each other to set up a world government and to decide who's going to run that world government. But as a moral person, when you see an outrage like this, you must speak out against it. When you see these people being mowed down. And this will only inflame more tensions. This will only... I mean, Israel's not stupid. They gave those soldiers those orders. That's admitted, to mow those people down. It's just like the Jefferson Memorial with the police body slamming and choking people for silently dancing. That made 20 times more people show up this weekend. Now those park police that body slammed them may lose their job, the Washington Post is reporting. See, so why would Israel mow down peaceful people, civilians? Why would they do something that they know will turn world attention against Israel? Well, if you look, the Israeli lobby is lockstep with MI6, European intelligence, and U.S. intelligence fomenting rebellions all over the Middle East. Because the globalists want a powder keg in the Middle East. You heard Jim Tucker from his Bilderberg source. He doesn't know why. The source didn't tell him why they want the Middle East to blow up. I'll tell you why. Because they want to start what could lead to a giant regional conflict engulfing Pakistan, India, and China. They've caught CIA people trying to sell and give uranium to al-Qaeda, groups they control, to then blame it on Pakistan to invade that country. The bankers have created a global meltdown. They need a new giant diversion, a new war so big, as Rand Corporation said 2 years ago, and Paul Watson wrote about it, so big that everybody forgets about losing their house. People forget about the gas prices. People forget about the imploding economy. And they rally around primitively around the government, and then they can get through their carbon tax. They can get through their TSA on the streets. They can get through this entire system. And so I have to look out for my interest as an American. And the Bill of Rights, the Constitution, protects me as a hedge against tyranny. When you get rid of those checks and balances on government and corporations, in every case in history, you get overrun and enslaved. And those checks and balances are being removed right now. And we've got Reuters articles here where the World Bank openly calls for a global tax to be paid to them on all carbon activities. World Bank to suggest CO2 levy on jet shipping fuel. Then it goes on. You can read the full new World Bank report. They've been putting out similar reports for more than 20 years, calling for total control paid to the private banks, the ones doing all of this. And I don't care if you're German, Jewish, Chinese, Mexican, you better get it through your head. 99.9% of us are going to be hurt by this. The globalists are waging war against the real free market, against prosperity. They openly say in every one of their major reports they want a post-industrial world. They already own the world through fraud. They don't want you to be able to compete. That's what the government health care is about. That's what the carbon tax is about. Giving waivers to insiders, letting insiders build coal plants, you can't. Letting insiders drill for oil, but you can't. It's a managed economy going back to royalty where you had to get a letter, a license, an authorization. And by the way, First, they give you licenses and give them to everybody. Then over time, in every culture, they phase out the licenses, like in New York, where they started licensing, 50-plus years ago for guns? Everybody got one for a few bucks. Then they stopped giving the licenses, unless you paid off the politicians 30 grand, unless you jumped through the hoops. So all the mobsters can pay off the cops. They got guns, but you don't. And it's the same thing. It's a global licensure. Now, when we come back, Dr. Paul Craig Roberts is coming up then, because now I'm gotten behind. We'll get into Adam Gadon and the fact that they say Al-Qaeda is going to start shooting people everywhere, so the government needs to go ahead and take your guns. This coinciding with Obama getting ready to announce his new gun control measure, Al-Qaeda comes in to agree with him and help.